Welcome back here to Riverfront Stadium in Newark, New Jersey for Game 2 of our doubleheader. Michael Patterson to lead off for the second time today, and the first pitch of the game is a bunt and fielded by Connor Medler, the starting pitcher today. I'll tell you more about him in a moment as we give you the lineup for both teams.
Batting second, third baseman, number 19, Brian.
Rutgers-Newark winners in Game 1 4-0, and it'll be Connor Medler, the NJAC Pitcher of the Week several weeks ago, pitching in Game 2. The lineup for the Gothic Knights: Michael Patterson will lead off again and play center field. Brian Bastillo moves up in the batting order. He was 8th in Game 1. He'll hit second in Game 2 and play third base. And Bastillo at the plate right now. Takes strike one, and it's 1-1. Michael Martucci batting third again and playing shortstop with Alex Weinstein at first and Rob Roman, the DH, batting 4 and 5. Bastillo swings and misses. It's 1-2. Orlando Bolano will catch again. He hit 6th in the first game. He will hit 6th in this game as well. Strike 3 looking as Bastillo is gone down on strikes.
Batting third, shortstop, number 10.
And that will bring up Michael Martucci. Andrew Rivera will drop from 2nd to 7th in the order and play left field. Matt Wagner now in the 8th spot, and Juan Cruz batting 9th and playing second base. First pitch to Martucci is a strike. Defensive alignment for Rutgers-Newark, and they make a couple changes from Game 1 as Martucci swings and misses at that changeup from Medler. Medler will throw to Christian Casa, a junior from Hamburg, New Jersey, Wallkill Valley. He's the catcher in Game 2. Vincent Tracy again at first. Andrew Nasty at second. In the dirt, they're going to have to throw to first to complete the 2-3.
For New Jersey City in the top of the first inning, no runs.
And to strike out swinging.
No errors, no one left.
2 strikeouts in a row for Medler to get through the first inning. As we complete the defensive alignment for Rutgers-Newark, Matt Goldberg is the new starting shortstop in today's second game. Freshman out of Freehold, New Jersey, Freehold Township, not too far from where I live down in Monmouth County. Tim Miller's the third baseman again. The outfield is the same with Jason McCluskey, Chris Balster, Jimmy Napolitano in left center and right. Game 2 batting order for Rutgers-Newark. Chris Balster leads off, plays center field. Vincent Tracy, the first baseman, bats second. Tim Miller, the third baseman, bats third. Jimmy Napolitano, the right fielder, the cleanup hitter, as the 3 and 4 hitters both change in this game. Miller was the cleanup hitter in the last game. He slides up to 3. Napolitano goes from 5 to 4 with Michael C. Aramello not in this contest. Christian Casa bats 5th and catches. Owen Harshany, the DH, batting 6th. Matt Goldberg will bat 7th at shortstop with Andrew Nasty and Jason McCluskey 8th and 9th. Defensive alignment for the Knights is the same. The only difference is the starting pitcher is junior right-hander Wendell Rodriguez. Rodriguez for the Gothic Knights, 2-2 on the year with a 3.380 ERA. This is 8th appearance, 5th start. He's thrown 1 complete game with 1 save, 29.1 innings of work. He's allowed 11 earned runs, struck out 12, walked 6, has an opposing batting average, though, of .308, which is a bit high because he's given up 36 hits in 29 and a third innings. Rodriguez throws to Orlando Bolano in Game 2. Weinstein, Cruz, Martucci, and Bastillo around the infield with Rivera, Patterson, and Wagner in the outfield.
Center fielder, number 15, Chris Ballister.
Ballister will lead us off here in our first game. Our second game, I should say. Ballister, leadoff batter in the first game as well. As Rutgers-Newark scored twice, as that's hit in the to left center field. First pitch of the game will roll all the way to the wall in the gap. And rounding second And thinking about third, but Mike Patterson makes a strong throw, and Ballister forced to stay at second base with a first pitch leadoff double.
Batting second, first baseman, number 28.
And for Ballister, that is
Tracy.
his 8th extra base hit of the year, his 3rd double to go along with 3 triples and 2 home runs. Vincent Tracy, the batter. That's a called strike. Ground ball, foul. It'll be 1-2. In our first game, Ballister went 0 for 4, so that's his first hit of the game. Tracy was 1 for 3 with a run scored. He'll be followed by Miller, who was 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wendell Rodriguez, his last start was in Game 1 of the doubleheader against St. Joe's of Maine last Saturday. Took the loss, his 2nd of the year. That's fouled off to our left. In that game, he allowed 13 hits in 8 innings. 5 earned runs. He struck out 4, walked none. A 7-2 loss to the then 27th ranked St. Joe's Monks, a team that has climbed in the poll ever since. Just off the plate, and the count is full. Prior to that, Rodriguez had a 94-pitch complete game victory against Sewanee University in Florida, the last game of the Florida trip. Tracy is granted time. Three-two pitch by Rodriguez. Ground ball through the right side of the infield. That is a base hit. Ballister is held by Lou Politan at third base. Matt Wagner got that ball back in quickly, and Tracy with a single with nobody out. And there's runners at the corners for Rutgers-Newark, who scored twice in the 7th and twice in the 8th, and is not taking as long to try to get the offense going in Game 2 as they did in Game 1, threatening right away here in the first inning. That will bring up the third baseman, Miller. Scored twice in the last game. Miller with an RBI opportunity here. He has 10 on the year. He'll be followed by Jimmy Napolitano, who leads the team with 12 ribbies. Chopper foul into the Gothic Knight dugout. No balls and 1 strike. The NJCU Kane softball game, I'll tell you what happened there, as that's high. Season opener in NJAC competition between NJCU and Kane, the defending conference champions. NJCU had runners at first and second in the 2nd inning of Game 1, and the game was called with the game in progress. That's a called strike. We are told because of field conditions. So it's unclear as to why that game was allowed to start if the field conditions were poor to begin with. But those teams will be postponed now for the second day in a row, and we'll pick things up tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Hit in the air, right field, Wagner in the gap. It's called off at the last second by Michael Patterson. It will be a sacrifice fly by Miller, and Rutgers-Newark has taken a 1-0 lead here in the first inning. So Miller gets the job done with a deep fly ball to the gap. Wagner's got a good arm, Patterson's got a good arm, but none of them will be there. Have an arm good enough to throw at Ballister.
Number 3, Jimmy Napolitano.
So 1 RBI, 11th of the year for Miller. Tracy remains at first with 1 out, and the first pitch to Napolitano is a strike. Napolitano now hitting .304. He was 2 for 3 with a run and an RBI in the last game. He actually now has 13 RBIs and maybe more, as that's hit deep to left center field, and that will roll all the way to the wall. Caroms off the spot in the wall where it curves. Tracy rounds third. He will score without a throw. And Rutgers-Newark, their second double of the inning. And Napolitano makes it 2-0. So 2-0 Rutgers-Newark. Now we'll bring up the catcher, Casa.
Christian Casa.
Casa, junior from Hamburg, New Jersey, and Wallkill Valley High School. Has a .320 batting average. This is his 9th game, 7th start, 8 for 25 overall, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs. And Rutgers-Newark trying to jump out to a quick early lead. Ground ball, Brian Bastillo's there. Throw to first is in time, and Napolitano stays at second. Now 2 away. That will bring up the designated hitter, number 25, Owen Harshany.
Designated hitter, number 25, Owen Harshany.
Harshany, a 5'10", 190-pound right-handed hitter from Dunellen, New Jersey, Dunellen High School in Middlesex County. And the first pitch is a called strike. 2 runs on 3 hits here in the bottom of the first inning for Rutgers-Newark. 2 extra base hits, both into the left center field gap. And that's strike 2. And that's lined into the gap. And that's going to be an extra base hit. Napolitano rounds third. He will score. Harshany is trying to leg out a triple. The throw to third is offline. When Harshany first hit that, it looked like it would have been cut off in the gap. It looked a little less harmless than it ended up being, as that split both Wagner and Patterson in right center field, and went all the way to the gap and to the warning track and allowed Harshany to leg out a triple.
The shortstop, number 2, Matt Goldberg.
So an RBI by Harshany, and that will bring up Goldberg. It's now 3-0 Rutgers-Newark.
No, I don't think it's going out again.
That's a called strike to Goldberg, who's hitting .300 a year. This is his 3rd start, his 6th appearance. He is just 3 for 10 overall, but he does have 2 RBIs. That's off the plate, blocked by Bolano. The number 2 pitcher for each team tossing today, Medler going against Rodriguez. Has a strike. And it's 1-2, but Medler being given a 3-run lead. He's got a 4.70 ERA on the year with a great strikeout to walk ratio, and Rutgers-Newark As that is grounded, Martucci's going to have to hurry. It's going to be an infield single and an RBI by Goldberg, and it's 4-0. As the dribbler got past the mound, Martucci had to try to barehand it, and once he was not able to barehand it, it was going to be too late there as Goldberg beat it out for an infield single and an RBI, and it's 4-0.
Do we have a number for Alex?
I don't have his number. Do you have his number?
And that will bring up the second baseman, Andrew Nasty, as Rutgers-Newark matching their run output from Game 1 here in the first inning of Game 2.
There's another one here.
Wait. I see one over there.
In the air, right field, Wagner underneath it and makes the catch. And that does it here in the first inning. But not before Rutgers-Newark scores 4 runs on 5 hits. They leave 1, and the Gothic Knights already behind 4-0. Second inning here in Newark, New Jersey. Ira Thor with you on the Green and Gold Network as the Gothic Knights take on Rutgers-Newark. The Raiders won Game 1 4-0. They lead by that same score here in the second inning to Alex Weinstein, the batter for the Gothic Knights, who's ahead 2-0 against Hunter Medler. That's called strike in the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Medler on the season 2-3, but his record is misleading as he's had some quality wins. And that's hit in the air, deep left field. And how far is that going to go? A solo home run by Alex Weinstein. His second home run of the year. He's the only player in the team to hit a home run this year. And that one was over the NJIT sign. And the Gothic Knights have taken their first run of today's contest. It is 4-1. So Weinstein was patient, and patient enough to rip the 2-1 pitch over the left field wall. But the Knights still with a lot of work to do. They trail 4-1, and the designated hitter Rob Roman comes to the plate. Now 309 hitter on the year. That's low. It's 1-1. Rob Roman, Game 1, went over 3. Started the game at DH before coming in as the defensive replacement at second. 1-1. Ground ball at the bag. Miller's going to have a long throw, but he'll have plenty of arm to throw out Rob Roman. 2 away, or 1 away, I should say. And that will bring up Milano, the catcher who went hitless in Game 1. 0-3, his second ever start at catcher. And first pitch is a strike. With Ryan Winters, the Gothic Knight primary catcher, still injured, And Mike Castellano, who's played 11 games at catcher, swing and a miss by Bolano, hitting a dismal 138. And Travis Haber, the reserve catcher, still very inexperienced to start in an NJAC game. Orlando Bolano is getting the opportunity to catch today. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Knights have 1 run here in the second inning off of the Alex Weinstein home run. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout of the game by Connor Medler. 2nd swinging. And now with 2 away, Andrew Rivera, who's hitting 7th in game 2, will come to the plate. Rivera was pulled out of the last game as he takes a strike here. And we're told for disciplinary reasons he actually threw his helmet in the dugout after making an out late in the game, and coaches pulled him out of the game. Expect more out of that from your junior co-captain, and we'd hope he would learn from that experience. Swings and misses at the pitch. So it's 0-2 to Rivera. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So far, 22 pitches by Medler, 16 for strikes, just 6 balls. 4-1 Rutgers-Newark here on the top of the second. 2 away. 1-2 pitch. That's a called strike 3. Now 4 strikeouts for Connor Medler, and the Gothic Knights go 1-2-3 following the home run by Weinstein. 1 run, a solo home run for Alex Weinstein, his 2nd round tripper of the year. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. In game 2, it's 4-1. Back here for the bottom of the 2nd inning, and it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters, McCluskey, Ballister, and Troisi. After Rutgers-Newark scored 4 times in the bottom of the 1st inning, it is a 4-1 game here in game 2. 1-0 pitch by Rodriguez is off the plate. Called strike. The home plate umpire in game number 2 is Mark Lima. James Grillo in the field in this contest. That's fouled off in front of the Gothic Knight dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. McCluskey hitting .429 in the year. He was 1 for 3 in the opener. Curve is off the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes as Wendell Rodriguez tries to restore some order here. The Knights trail by 3 runs. Ground ball, Martucci. Throw across the diamond is in time. So one away, and that will bring up Ballister, who got us going in the first inning with a double into the gap in left field before scoring. Tim Camp, does this shot go in as I finish my Subway sandwich? Camp says no. Unlike NJIT basketball, that sucker went down. Actually, I take that back, as NJIT basketball was tremendous this year. Got to the finals of the Great West Championship before losing to North Dakota. As that is a ball, it's 1-1. Is that game out in North Dakota? Chicago, so you didn't have to go out to the Prairie for the championship game. 1-1. And it's 2-1. NJIT was arguably the most successful basketball team in Division I in the state this year. As that is called strike, it's 2-2. And that is line. Base hit to the right side. It caromed off the lip of the outfield grass, but right to Matt Wagner. So Ballister's 2 for 2. And he goes into the right field after going the opposite way in the first inning. So he now has had a hit sprayed to all parts of this park. And Troisi, hitting left-handed, comes up. The throw back to first. Ballister's in standing. Troisi singled and later scored the second run for the Raiders in the first inning. So Ballister at first base. There he goes. The throw by Bolano is not in time. It was high, and Ballister able to slide in underneath the tag. So a stolen base on the ball. And so will be a 1-0 pitch coming here to Troisi. But the Raiders with another runner in scoring position. As a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Margie Alfano, who was helping us out camera, had to leave, so we have the camera now locked in on the backstop position. Those watching home can pretty much see where all the action is other than in the left and right field corners. So we apologize about not having a videographer for game 2, but we think we'll make do. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ballister with 1 out stands at second. Ground ball. Hard one for Bertucci to handle. Recovers. The throw is dug out by Weinstein for the out. Best part of the play was the ending, as Alex Weinstein fielded his position well, was able to take a tough hop. Ballister, of course, moves on to third base, and that will bring up the third baseman, Miller, who had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Wendell Rodriguez trying to get out of trouble here with a runner at third and 2 outs. And that's in the air, center field. Michael Patterson initially went out, decides to come back in after he reads that ball a little bit better. And his uncle Keith Patterson, watching today's game in Charlotte, North Carolina, just saw the inning come to a close as Patterson makes the catch as Miller flies out. Second inning for Rutgers-Newark. They had the hit by Ballister, but that was it. We head to the third inning. It's 4-1, Rutgers-Newark. Top of the third inning, and Matt Wagner will lead off for the Gothic Knights for the first time today. He comes to the plate, now hitting 8 in this contest. Wagner was 1 for 3 in game 1. Ground ball towards shortstop. Goldberg will make the throw. 1 away. Now we'll bring up Cruz, who was 0 for 3 in game number 1. His average is even at 200. Cruz has the ability to really drive the ball, but he has really gone cold at the plate. And first pitch, he offered that for strike 1. The curve is high. It's 1-1. Cruz now has just 2 hits in his last 6 games. Ball 2 to Cruz. Catches the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2, and that's hit in the air. Floater to left field. That's going to fall in front of McCluskey for a base hit. So Juan Cruz, his first hit of today's action.
Now batting number 28, Michael Patterson.
And that will prevent his batting average from dipping below 200, which is something you never want to see if you're a hitter. So with 1 out, now we'll bring up Michael Patterson. We just gave his uncle Keith a shout-out a few moments ago, watching today's game in sunny Charlotte, North Carolina. It's nice to know it's sunny somewhere on the East Coast. And Patterson, he takes strike 1. He grounded out on a bunt attempt in the first inning. Patterson was 1 for 4 in the first game. Batting leadoff again for the Knights. And that's in or outside and low. It's 1-1. Gothic Knights now have lost 3 in a row for the first time this year. Blocked in front of the plate. Good job there by Casa. And it's 2-1. Throw back to first. Cruz is in standing. Rutgers-Newark has now won 5 games in a row after the Game 1 victory. Cruz, this time diving in, is safe. Two balls, 1 strike. Grounder to short. Goldberg flips to Nasty on the first, in time for the double play. Despite the hard slide there by Cruz, he was unable to break it up. And the inning comes to a close as Patterson hits into a 6-4-3 double play. Cruz out, and the inning comes to a close. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the third. It's 4-1 Rutgers-Newark in Game 2. Bottom of the third inning, and it'll be Napolitano, Casa, and Harshini, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, due up for Rutgers-Newark. With this doubleheader being postponed from yesterday, the one thing I was able to do with my day, other than household chores, which I was mandated to do by my wife, was actually watch the Final Four for a change, and happy to see that Kansas, who was the only pick I apparently have gotten right in the entire March Madness bracket, is in the finals. I did have them winning the national title, so hopefully I get something right. Ground ball, Bastillo knocks it down, recovers, the throw is not going to be in time. What do you think, Tim Camp? Trying to decide here whether we give a hit or an error here. It could go either way. We're going to give Napolitano an error, or Bastillo an error, and Napolitano is going to reach into E5.
Now betting number 5.
Officially, it's going to be an E5 fielding error. And the first pitch to Casa, or second pitch, you should say, is a strike, as we were working out the dynamics of that play. And that's, yeah, I was talking to Tim Camp again. Tim's the SID at NJIT, a veteran of New Jersey athletics, former SID at St. Peter's, Western Connecticut, back when I was in grammar school. Sorry, buddy. Casa goes down on strikes.
Now batting number 25. Says his name wrong.
That will bring up Harshini, who tripled and drove in a run in the first inning. Napolitano with the lead off first, 1 out. Curveball by Wendell Rodriguez. And that's a strike. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Rutgers-Newark. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error for the Knights. Chopper into the Rutgers-Newark, well, it looked like it would be in the dugout, then it caromed off the roof of the dugout, and one of their fans will have a souvenir. And it's 0-2. 4th error of this doubleheader against the Gothic Knights. Again, this time fouled into the dugout, and Tim Miller, standing on the top step, tried to bat it away and kind of lost his footing and stumbled backwards. He's okay, getting a little ribbing from his teammates. In the air, middle left field, and making the catch, Rivera, as that was skied pretty high in the overcast afternoon, with a threat of rain coming very soon. And that will bring up Goldberg, who singled and drove in the 4th run when he grounded to shortstop, and Michael Martucci had the bare hand, was unable to do so, allowing Harshini to score from third base. Goldberg now hitting .364. Ground ball off the glove of Wendell Rodriguez. Cruz will complete the 1-4-3, and the inning comes to a close.
For Rutgers-Newark in the 3rd inning, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on.
In the 3rd inning for Newark, no runs, no hits, 1 error on Brian Bastillo, but the runner was left stranded on base. We head to the 4th inning. It's 4-1. Back here, top of the fourth inning, Brian Bastillo, the leadoff hitter for the Knights, takes ball one. He struck out looking in the first inning. One of 4 strikeout victims so far by Medler as that's fouled away. One pitch, check swing, and saying that Bastillo went around. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball, right to Medler. He'll flip to Troisi for the easy out. So 1 away for Michael Martucci, hitting .346, but he struck out swinging in the first inning.
Now batting number 10, Michael Martucci.
Ground ball to third. Miller backhands it. The long throw in time to retire the speedy Martucci. Now 2 away. And that will bring up Alex Weinstein, who homered to left field in his first at bat of the game.
24, Alex Weinstein.
He's got a text from one of our alumni who was actually in New Orleans for the Final Four, saying he was watching a little bit of the broadcast and from his hotel before leaving for a swamp tour. That's a check swing. Weinstein went around at strike 1. Sunny and dry in New Orleans. That's just great. No balls and 1 strike. That's low. It's 1-1. One pitch. That's a called strike at the knees on the outside part of the plate. And Medler is a strike away from making this a 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 pitch. That is indeed strike 3. 5th strike out of the game for Medler, and the Gothic Knights do go in order in the 4th. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-1 Rutgers-Newark in Game 2. Bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be Nasty McCluskey Ballister. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Raiders as they try to add to a 4-1 lead. Inside, Nasty had to skip away from that one. Since that dreadful first inning, just 1 hit for the Raiders. They had a second base runner reach on an error in the 3rd inning, but he was erased. Lined, but coming out to center field and making the basket catch was Michael Martucci on the 1-1 pitch, as it was more of a soft liner off the bat of Nasty.
Now batting number 20, Jason
Now we'll
McCluskey.
bring up McCluskey, who grounded out to short in the second inning. His average has now dropped to .414 as that's fouled off and right in front of us. And if I only had the window open, I'd have myself a souvenir or at least a black and blue hand. On the ground, Martucci got his center gravity real low that time and made the play, and quickly 2 away. And that's something we've seen with a lot of errors this year, was the fielder has not had a chance to really set their feet and give themselves a good base to work with.
Now batting number 15, Chris Ballister.
So good fundamentals that time by Michael Martucci, and that will bring up the center fielder, Chris Ballister, who is 2 for 2 today. He has 2 of Newark's 6 hits. And a curveball inside, ball 1. He doubled in the first, he singled in the second. That's inside as well. Ballister picks it up and flips it back to Orlando Bolano. And that's scorched over the head of Matt Wagner and off the right field wall. Ballister around first, on his way to second. The throw is not in time, as Wagner made that closer than it appeared it would be as he quickly got to the ball. You heard it just carry him off the wall, probably about a foot off the ground. Nevertheless, it's the second double of the game for Ballister. 7th hit overall for the Raiders. And that will bring up the first baseman, Vin Troisi, 1 for 2 today with a run scored. And the Raiders trying to add to their 3-run advantage. And called strike to the left-handed hitter. That's high. Rutgers-Newark, including today's game, they're in their 5-game winning streak, have outscored opposition 32-11. And that's lined, but right at Andrew Rivera, and the inning comes to a close. Rivera could not have played that any better.
For Rutgers-Newark in the bottom of the 4th.
In the 4th inning, the 2-out double by Chris Ballister, but he's left standing at second base. 1 hit, 1 left on base. We head to the 5th. 4-1 Raiders. Top of the 5th inning here, and Rob Roman, the first pitch, grounded to shortstop Goldberg with the easy play.
That was number 11, Rob Roman. Now batting number 7.
They'll bring up the catcher, Orlando Bolano, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning, and the Knights And the Raiders are 2 outs away from making this an official game, with rain looming. So the softball doubleheader against Kane was called. Wonder why they even started it if the field was unplayable, but it was called with the Gothic Knights threatening in the second inning. They'll start over tomorrow. Chopped foul, barehanded by Jerry Smith. Oh, he couldn't hold on. It'll be 1-1. The volleyball team did win the second match against Sage. That's lined into center field for a base hit for Bolano, his first hit of the afternoon in either game. And with 1 out, the Gothic Knights have a runner at first base for Andrew Rivera. NJCU, which lost to Sage up in Albany, New York last month, defeated the Gators 3-1, lost the first set 25-23 before storming back to win 25-19. 25-21, 26-24, as Rivera looks at ball 1. With that win, the Knights do clinch a Skyline Conference tournament berth, their first year as an associate member of the league in men's volleyball. If they beat Mount St. Vincent on Tuesday, on Senior Day, a team that the Knights have already defeated this year, and the Knights will be the number 3 team in the tournament. If they lose, they'll be the 4, and they'll take on Kane. If it stands up right now, they'll play Ramapo in the semifinals. Pitch by Medler, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Bolano standing at first base after the 1-out single. Pitch by Medler, swing and a miss, and Andrew Rivera strikes out for the second time. 6 strikeouts for Medler, and that will bring up Matt Wagner, who grounded out to short in the 3rd inning. Medler came into today's game, as we said in the open, with 24 strikeouts versus just 7 walks. He's now at 30-7 in 35.1 innings of work. Just a great ratio. Good block there by Casa to prevent Bolano from advancing. 1 ball, no strikes. The NJAC Rookie Hitter of the Week, Matt Wagner, trying to cut this lead in half. Hits at a gap here, could do that. But it's 2-0. That's low. And the count goes full to Wagner. Or it goes 3-0 to Wagner, I should say, as Wagner is trying to draw a team-high 8th walk of the year. NJCU did not draw a walk in Game 1. And that's a strike, as Van Vliet was just absolutely awesome. 9 strikeouts, no walks in the win for Rutgers-Newark. 3 balls, 1 strike. Chopped foul. Adjacent to the Rutgers-Newark third base dugout, and the count now is full at 3-2 with 2 outs and Bolano at first. Three-two pitch on the ground, in the hole. Goldberg with the long throw, and it's wide of the bag. And as the ball got away, trying to score all the way from first, and scoring is Bolano. And as the ball gets away from the catcher, there goes Wagner. Wow, an odd play there. Wagner reaches on the E6 throwing error. Bolano, who had advanced originally, then advances 2 bases on the error, and Wagner, who does not get credit for an RBI, of course.
Now batting number 21, Juan Cruz.
Wagner will move up on an error on the catcher who could not hold the ball. So 2 errors on the play officially. And that will bring up Juan Cruz as the Gothic Knights cut this lead in half to 4-2. Cruz singled in his last turn at bat, his only at bat in this game in the 3rd inning. We've been told that it was actually Medler who dropped the ball, not the catcher Casas, so he will be charged with the error on that. Ground ball, slowly hit. They're going to have to hurry here. And a flip by Troisi to the pitcher Medler covering. And the inning comes to a close. But in the 5th inning for the Gothic Knights, in what is now an official game, 1 run on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th.
City University in the top of the 5th inning. 1 run on 1 hit. There are 2 Rutgers-Newark errors. 1 man left on base. Halfway through the score, Rutgers-Newark 4, New Jersey City University 2.
We head to the bottom of the 5th inning here. Rutgers-Newark's lead now just 2. And Tim Miller, Napolitano, and Casa, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, due up for the Raiders as Miller takes strike 1. Swing and a miss on the changeup by Rodriguez. And after Rutgers-Newark scored 4 times in the 1st inning, Wendell Rodriguez has held the Raiders at bay since then. That's in the air down the left field line, but it's going to drift foul into the picnic area. Four runs, 7 hits, 2 errors on Rutgers-Newark, 2, 3, and 1 for the Gothic Knights. In the air, left center field, coming in quickly, Rivera sliding, and he makes the catch! He's making these diving catches look routine. What another great play by Andrew Rivera.
Jimmy Napolitano.
His diving catch in Game 1, we're going to cut down from video later, and if it's the quality we think it is, we're going to send it to SportsCenter tonight. But this one right here was pretty darn good itself. And that will bring up Napolitano. We've never had a baseball play make SportsCenter. We've had some basketball plays over the year, 3 soccer plays in the last 3 years. With a little luck, you can add a baseball play to that list. 1 and 1. And it's off the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Napolitano, who is 1 for 2 today with a double and an RBI. Skied, shallow center field. Michael Patterson makes the catch for the second out.
Now batting number 5, Christian Casa.
2 away, and that will bring up catcher Casa, who's 0 for 2 today with a ground out to third. He also struck out swinging. That came in the 3rd inning. He's now hitting .296 on the year. Ground ball. Bastillo can't handle it. It's an infield error on Brian Bastillo, his 2nd of the game. He came over to try to make the play in front of Martucci and couldn't handle it. And if you're a coach and you run these infield outfield drills, stuff like that, especially on a ball that was not hit all that hard, has to make you pull your hair out. Harshini, the batter. See if Rutgers-Newark can capitalize on NJCU's 2nd error of the game, and the first pitch called strike. Wendell Rodriguez now 70 pitches here in the 5th inning. If NJCU could field the ball a little more cleanly, he'd be below the 60 pitch count right now, but that's not what has happened. Ground ball to Martucci, backs up in the hole, goes the short way. The crew's at second base for the force, and finally the inning does come to a close. Bottom of the 5th inning for the Raiders. No runs, no hits, 1 error. Did not end up costing NJCU 1 left on. We head to the 6th inning. It's a 4-2 lead for Rutgers-Newark in Game 2 of our NJAC doubleheader.
Michael Patterson.
Michael Patterson will lead off for the Gothic Knights here in the 6th inning, and he takes strike 1. And his uncle made a great point on the chat board on the broadcast. Errors plus lack of hitting equals losses, and that's what's happening during this 3-game losing streak. That's ball 1 to Patterson. Most notably was the 1st inning against Drew on Thursday when 1 error led to 7 unearned runs, as NJCU lost that game 10-4 against a Drew team that it had beaten handily in recent years. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael Patterson, who's 0 for 2 in Game 2 of our doubleheader. He grounded into a double play in the 3rd inning. That's off the plate. Patterson will be followed by Bastillo and Martucci. Check swing, and field umpire James Grillo says Patterson did not offer the pitch. And the count is 3-2. Medler has been really effective now. 7 innings pitched. This is the 7th innings thrown, and just 65 pitches thrown. Ground ball, Miller very fundamentally sound at third base, makes the play.
Now batting number 19, Brian Bastillo.
The errors that the Gothic Knights have made in not just these games, but all year long, are errors that in NJAC play a starting infielder has to make, or it's going to come back and it's going to hurt your team. You just cannot give teams in the NJAC the quality that this league is, 4 and 5 outs to work within an inning, and expect damage not to be done. That's a strike one to Bastillo. Every once in a while you might escape it, as NJCU did in the last inning, but you play the percentages too much and eventually you're going to lose. That's a strike two to Brian Bastillo, who had 2 hits in game 1, but he's 0 for 2 and hitting now .308 in the year. Just off the plate, 1 and 2. 47 strikes, 22 balls thrown by Medler so far. Swing and a miss, and Bastillo goes down on strikes for the second out. For Connor Medler, 7 strikeouts, no walks now, allowed just 1 earned run and 3 hits in 5.2 innings, and they'll bring up Martucci, who's 0 for 2, and his average is sitting at .341. And that's off the plate. Ball 1. So in the first 15 innings of play, we're here in the 6th inning. I said 7th before. We're in the 6th inning. First 15 innings of play, Rutgers-Newark has struck out 16 batters. They're 1 and 2 pitchers. That's chopped foul wide of third base. One ball, 2 strikes to Martucci. Pops straight up behind home plate. The catcher Casa is there, reaches back and makes the catch. And the Gothic Knights go down 1, 2, 3.
No runs, no hits, no errors.
No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Raiders have a 2-run lead.
Scarlet Raiders.
Bottom of the 6th inning. As there's a conversation at the mound here. It'll be Goldberg, Nasty, McCluskey, 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for the Raiders. NJCU is hoping to keep this game going long enough to beat out the weather. Just checked weather.com, and there's a 90% chance of rain in the 5 o'clock hour. We're about 40 minutes away before we get to that time of the game. That's 2-0. There was an initial ball there. We're trying to figure out what it was for. Maybe there was a delay on the Knights because they took a while getting out there. And that's 3-0.
Yeah, it's cold. You should be able to go to your mouth today. It's cold.
That's a strike. Pitch by Rodriguez. In the air, foul. Bastillo in front of the Rutgers-Newark dugout leans back, arches his back, and makes the catch. Overran it, but was able to lean back and make the catch. And with 1 out, that will bring out the second baseman, Andrew Nasty, who's 0 for 2. He's popped out to right field and to shortstop, and is now hitting .219. It's off the plate, 1-1 to Nasty. Ground ball, Martucci charges, and he'll make the throw in time, 2 away.
Now batting number 20, Jason McCluskey.
Jason McCluskey, the left fielder, comes up. He's grounded out to shortstop. He has the best intro music of anyone on this Rutgers-Newark team. For those WWE fans from the 1990s, he has, as he shows bunt and fouls away, the old Brood theme music with Gangrel and Edge and Christian. Tim Campbell shakes his head. He has absolutely no clue what I'm talking about. Tim has no sense of pop culture. As grounded over the shortstop, Martucci charges, and inning comes to a close. Back-to-back round out to shortstop, and the Raiders go in order here in the 6th inning. The Gothic Knights trail 4-2 as we head to the 7th. The Knights have 9 outs to make 2 runs. Top of the 7th inning, and Alex Weinstein is already homered today. Swings and misses as his first pitch here from Connor Medler. And it's 4-2 as the Gothic Knights bat in the 7th inning. Pitch by Medler. Chopper up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit for Alex Weinstein. His second hit of the day. 4th hit for NJCU, and that will bring up Rob Roman, the designated hitter, who's hitting .298, but he's 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts in our second game. That's low. And that's in the air, right field, coming in quickly and not able to make the catch is Napolitano. Good piece of hitting there by Rob Roman, getting the bat out and getting enough on the ball to get that to drop in for a bloop single. Alex Weinstein, who had gone halfway to second base just to be safe, advances to second. And the Gothic Knights now with runners at first and second. And they'll bring up Alano, who singled and scored on a aggressive hustle play in the fifth inning. Throw back to second base, and Medler nearly had Weinstein, who had started committing a little bit towards third base. Good throw had him. Bolano, who singled, scored all the way from first base on an error. Bolano showing bunt. Drops down a perfect bunt. Down to third base, and it's going to be a single as Medler picked it up and did not make a throw. And I'm kind of surprised by that, because Bolano does not run that well. And an attempt there might have made it a close play.
Now batting number 1, Andrew Rivera.
So Bolano officially with a bunt single. Roman and Weinstein move to second and third, and the bases are loaded for Andrew Rivera as Mark Rizzi comes out to have a conversation with Medler. And Rivera's a little cold right now at the plate, but he's already broken out of slumps with big hits this year. Most notably was the 3-run bases-clearing triple against 27th-ranked St. Joe's last Sunday to win that game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rivera hitting .299. He has struck out twice in this game. He is a batter that, and for those who've seen NJCU's games this year, he gets better as the innings go along. And you hope that's true now if you're a Gothic Knight fan, as that is low for ball 1. We thank those of you watching today's game here on the Green and Gold Network. It's 4-2 Rutgers-Newark here in the top of the 7th. Ground ball, back to Medler. He bobbled. He's thrown to the plate for 1. And that'll be it, as Casa elected not to risk it, throwing it to first for a double play opportunity.
Now batting number 32, Matthew Wagner.
So Bolano goes to second, Roman to third. Weinstein is out 1-2 on the fielder's choice. And that will bring up Matt Wagner. Grounded out to short and reached on a throwing error by the shortstop. He's 0 for 2, now hitting .325. Base is still full of Gothic Knights. Swing and a miss by Wagner, who has 6 RBIs on the season. Wagner has a .452 on-base percentage as a freshman, a true freshman at that. A ground ball in the hole. The flip by Nasty to Goldberg, and they complete the 4-6-3 double play. And after 3 hits to start the inning, the Gothic Knights cannot capitalize. A huge double play by the Scarlet Raiders to get out of trouble.
The score remains Rutgers-Newark 4, NJCU 2.
So a 4-6-3 double play as the Gothic Knights, despite 3 hits in the 7th, leave 2 on, and we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch time here in Newark. It's 4-2 Scarlet Raiders. Chris Ballister, the Gothic Knight killer, leads off and finally will be retired as first pitch is grounded to Weinstein, who takes it to the bag himself. Ballister had been 3 for 3 with 2 doubles.
Now batting, number 28.
That will bring up the first baseman, Vin Troisi, who is 1 for 3 today. Rodriguez has not allowed a run since the 4 in the first inning, but that could be enough as we're starting to get late here, especially with a 90% chance of rain coming soon. Scorched to right center field. Patterson dives! Does he? He made the catch! Oh my! Michael Patterson lays out and makes the catch! Ah, it's too bad we didn't have someone on camera for that, because that's better than the Rivera play. Just ridiculous outfield play today by the Knights, if only the infield play could match. And I'm sure his Uncle Chris watching in North Carolina, or his Uncle Keith watching in North Carolina, is pumped at that. An incredible catch by Patterson. With 2 away, that'll bring up Miller. One and one to Miller. That's chopped. On the ground, Weinstein has to gather a flip. Does in time to Wendell Rodriguez, who gets his foot in the bag a step and a half before Miller. And Miller retired 3-1, and Rutgers-Newark goes in order, but it was a little adventurous as Tracy lined what could have been a double, perhaps a triple, into the right center field gap, and Michael Patterson just made probably the best catch of the year. We've seen some great ones by Andrew Rivera. I think that one's better, folks. 8th inning coming up. It's 4-2. 8th inning, and Juan Cruz, the second baseman, will lead off, and he takes ball 1. The Gothic Knights had their best chance of getting back in this game in the last inning when they had the bases loaded with nobody out, but they failed to capitalize. And that's chopped foul and rolling towards the Rutgers-Newark dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. And unfortunately, the video of the Patterson catch is not going to be good enough for us to send in, but hopefully the Rivera play will be sufficient. Ground ball towards short. Goldberg is there, and he'll make the throw. Plenty of time to retire Cruz 1 away. So Michael Patterson, again, anytime you make a great defensive play, you get to bat in the next inning, and he comes to the plate. His average is now below 300 for the first time this year. He's 0 for 3 today. And in the first game, he was 1 for 4, so just 1 hit and 7 at-bats in a short season of college baseball. That's enough to drop your batting average, anywhere from 20 to 30 points at least. That's grounded. Goldberg, tough play. The throw is not in time. It's an infield single for Michael Patterson. It would have taken an almost absolute perfect play for Goldberg there in the hole to be able to stop that ball and still make the throw to retire Patterson, who is the fastest player on this team. So with 1 out, that brings up Brian Bastillo, who's averaged at an even 300. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts against Medler in Game 2 today after having 2 hits in the opener. Mike Patterson dives back in safely. His parents Bob and Karen in the stands. Crowd is starting to thin out a little bit as the weather gets closer to rain time. The ball held up long enough there on the chopper to Goldberg to allow Brian Bastillo to beat that out. So a fielder's choice. Patterson's retired 6-4, now 2 away for Michael Martucci.
Michael Martucci.
Martucci averaged at 337, 0 for 3 in today's second game. He fouled out to the catcher in the 6th inning. As he called strike to Martucci. 92 pitches by Medler here in the 8th inning. Swing and a miss. Martucci out in front of that. And it's 0-2. Grounder to Goldberg. He's going to flip the short way. Nasty steps on second base. The inning comes to a close, and the Gothic Knights get 1 hit by Patterson, but do not threaten. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's 4-2 Rutgers-Newark. Each team with 7 hits, each team with 2 errors, but the Raiders have the advantage where it counts, and that's in the runs column. So we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Could be the last chance for Rutgers-Newark to add to their lead here, as they have a 4-2 margin. Napolitano, Casa, and Harshini, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters, due up. Line down the left field line and out of the stadium, but foul by about 20 feet. .325 or so foot strike. One pitch by Wenrod in the dirt. 2-1. Pitch Napolitano. That's popped up. Coming over is Bolano, and he will make the catch as he's greeted by Alex Weinstein, the first baseman. 1 away.
Now batting number 5, Christian Casa.
I will bring up Casa, the catcher, who is 0 for 3, a ground out, a strikeout. He also reached on an error. That's hit in the air, deep left field. Rivera backs up in front of the track, makes the catch for the second out. With 2 away, that will bring up the designated hitter, Harshini.
Now batting number 25, Owen Harshini.
Harshini is 1 for 3 with a triple and an RBI, and for Harshini, that was actually, and we failed to notice this before, this is the first game he's played in this year. He did not have a batting average coming in, so the triple was actually his first hit of the year, as he was injured for most of the early part of the season. It's 2-0 to Harshini. Curveball's a strike. Two-one pitch, ground foul. In and out of the dugout. Lou Politan, the third base coach, will scoop that up. And Rodriguez has thrown 97 pitches here through 8 innings, trying to get out of this inning, give the Gothic Knights a chance. That's ball 3. To try to tie the game, they would need 2 runs in the 9th to do so. Swing and a miss. And Harshini strikes out swinging. And Rutgers-Newark goes down 1-2-3 in the 8th inning. Last chance for the Gothic Knights. It'll be Weinstein, Roman, Bolano. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up as we head to the 9th inning. It's 4-2 in Game 2. So Connor Medler's day is done, and Rutgers-Newark will bring their closer, Nick Evans. Evans, a 6'3", 200-pound senior right-hander from Montvale, New Jersey, Pascack Hills High School. Already with 4 saves on the season. He's got a 5.06 ERA. This will be his 7th appearance in 5.1 innings. He's allowed 3 runs on 7 hits with 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. An opposing batting average of .333. But he's on for the save opportunity with the Raiders leading by 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Now pitching for Rutgers-Newark, number 7, Nick Evans.
So Medler's day is done. 8 innings. He allowed 1 earned run, 2 total, 7 hits, struck out 7, walked none through 94 pitches. Incredible ratio here. 14 ground ball outs, just 1 fly ball out.
For New Jersey City, number 24, Alex Weinstein.
Alex Weinstein with 2 hits in today's game, including his 2nd home run of the season in the 2nd inning, and Gothic Knights need 2. They trail 4-2. We thank those of you watching today's doubleheader here on the Green and Gold Network. Ira Thor with you live at Bears and Eagles Riverfront Stadium as NJCU trying to prevent a 4-game losing streak as the 2 games against Rutgers and Newark today opens league play. Bouncer slowly, and Troisi is going to have to hurry there, but he's able to flip it in time to Nick Evans for the first out. We'll bring up Roman. And first pitch is a called strike. Rob Roman is 1 for 3 today, a couple ground outs. He singled in the 7th inning. That is a ball, so it's 1-1 with Milano on deck. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Knights, or for the Raiders, I should say. 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Gothic Knights. 1-1 pitch. Chopper towards Goldberg. Can Roman beat it out? The throw by Goldberg is in time. Now 2 away, and NJCU was down to their final out, and Orlando Bolano will come to the plate.
7, Orlando Bolano.
Bolano, who went 0-4 in Game 1, is 2 for 3 with a couple singles and a run scored in our 2nd game. Bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. 4 runs in a first for the Raiders. NJCU countered with a home run by Weinstein in the 2nd and an unearned run in the 5th. They left a golden opportunity on base in the 7th when they failed to capitalize after 3 singles. NJCU has left 4 on in this game. The Raiders have left 5. They lead 4-2. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's low. It's 2-1. Umbrellas are out now, as it looks like it's beginning to rain lightly here in Newark. And just as the weather forecasters predicted, about time that they're right about something. That's in the air. Left center field, Ballister giving way. No, he does not give way for McCluskey. He makes the catch himself as he falls to the turf in left center, and the game comes to a close. The catch by Ballister seals the doubleheader sweep for the Scarlet Raiders as Rutgers-Newark sends NJCU down in order here in the 9th, and they win Game 2 by a score of 4-2. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for Rutgers-Newark, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for the Gothic Knights. The Raiders improve to 11-7, 2-0 in the NJAC, winning their 6th in a row. Gothic Knights take a tough pair of tough losses today, and they fall to 8-11, 0-2 in the league, and they've dropped 4 in a row.
Winning pitcher Connor Medler, losing pitcher Wendell Rodriguez.
Taking a look at the final stats. Medler, the winning pitcher, he evens his record at 3-3. 8 innings, allowed 1 earned run, 7 hits, struck out 7, walked none. Wendell Rodriguez takes the loss. He falls to 2 and 3, 8 innings, allowed 4 runs, 7 hits, struck out 2, walked none, over 99 pitches. Offensively for the Scarlet Raiders, Chris Ballister was the main weapon today, 3 for 4, 2 doubles, and a run scored. Tracy was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Miller had an RBI. Napolitano 1 for 4 with a double RBI and a run scored. And Harshini was 1 for 4 with a triple, an RBI and a run scored. Goldberg 1 for 3 with an RBI for the Gothic Knights. Weinstein was 2 for 4 with a solo home run and an RBI and a run scored. Bolano was 2 for 4. And that's it. Solo hits for Patterson, Cruz, and Roman. And the Gothic Knights lose both ends of today's double dip, 4-0 in the opener and 4-2 in Game 2. We thank those of you watching today's broadcast here on the Green and Gold Network. Special thanks to Margie Alfano, who helped us out with camera in Game number 1. And we'll be back on the air on Thursday when NJCU hosts William Patterson in an NJAC game in Jersey City. Final score in Game 2, New Jersey City falls to Rutgers-Newark 4-2, and the Gothic Knights drop to 8-11 overall and 0-2 in the league. For everyone at New Jersey City University Athletics, I'm Ira Thor saying thanks for watching today's broadcast of Green and Gold Network Baseball, and until we talk to you again next week, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and be well, everybody.